indicate this is a commercial vehicle. My windshield is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal stickers, good visibility and clean. My weather stripping around my window is not dried or cracking, and there are no leaks. My wiper blades, they're properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, in good working condition. The rubber on my blades is not dried or cracking, in good condition. My hood is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No extra holes, in good condition. My grill is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. And there's no debris that's blocking the airflow to my radiator. My bumper properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws. It is level, indicating I don't have a problem with suspension or possible low air in one of my tires. My license plate is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. It is clean. It is up to date on my DMV registration, in good condition. Underneath my vehicle, there's no puddles of water, no oil, indicating I could have a leak, and there's no hanging hoses and no hanging wires that could get caught up into my tires as I'm driving. My front lights, I have 5 lights. I have a high beam, low beam, they're clear in color, properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bulbs, in good condition. My amber lights are my 4-way flashers, signal lights, and running lights. They are all properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, have good working light bulbs. My light shield, it's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, in good condition. Clean, visible. My convex mirror for my hood, my bracket is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, not missing any bolts. The mirror itself is not cracked, no illegal stickers, and it is adjusted to me when I'm driving. This is my right signal light and a 4-way flasher. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bulbs. It is amber in color, in good condition. My hood latch, it's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, in good condition, and secures my hood. On this side of my vehicle, I have my left signal light and 4-way flasher. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, amber in color, in good working condition with a good bulb. My other hood latch is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, in good working condition, secures my hood. I'll open up my hood. I'll start on the right side of my vehicle. This is my air filter housing. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. I'm not missing any bolts. It's properly secured. It does not leak. The filter on the inside is clean and in good condition. This is my filter indicator. It's in green, indicating my filter is still clean and doesn't need to be changed. This is my air intake. It's properly mounted, secured. There's no debris or anything that's blocking the airflow going into my air filter. All the hoses going in and out of my air filter, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there's no leaks. This is my turbo. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws, and does not leak. All my air lines going into my turbo lines. My air lines, there's no abrasions, bubbles, cuts, no leaks, there's no illegal welds. All the clamps are on tight. All my connections are tight, and there's no leaks in my turbo housing air intakes. This is my radiator. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws, does not leak. Right here I have my serpentine belt. My serpentine belt. It's not frayed, cut, worn, in good condition. When pulled by hand, I have no more than 3/4 of an inch play. My serpentine belt powers 2 components. The first is my alternator. My alternator is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws, in good condition. All of the wires going into my alternator. They're not frayed, cut, no bare or loose or broke wires. They're all in good working condition. My other component that's belt driven is my water pump. My water pump is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws, and does not leak. The lines, the hoses going in and out of my water pump, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and they are not leaking. All of the hoses on top of my engine, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and no leaks. All of the wires on top of my engine, there's no frayed, cut, bare, or loose wires. They're all in good condition. Right here is my oil filter. It is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. The rubber seal on the inside is not dried or cracking, and it is not leaked. It is on hand tight. I'll step over to this side of my vehicle. I have two components on the left side of my vehicle that are gear driven. The first is my air compressor. I'll follow my hoses. My air compressor mounted, properly mounted, secured right here. Not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws, and it does not leak. All of my air lines going in and out of my air compressor. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there's no leaks. My air valve here has properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts or screws, no illegal welds. It is not leaking, and all the air lines going out of it. No abrasions, bubbles, cuts, no leaks. My other component that's gear driven is my power steering pump. I follow my hose. My power steering pump mounted right here. It's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws. It is not leaking. All of the hoses coming out of my power steering pump, no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, they're not leaking. All the clamps holding my closes are on properly, so my hoses do not leak. This is my power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts or screws. It is filled to the proper operating level. The cap is on tight. The rubber seal on the inside is not dried or cracking and does not leak. This is my coolant reservoir. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts or screws. It is filled to the proper operating level. All the hoses going in and out of my coolant reservoir. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and no leaks. The clamps are on tight, holding them securely. There are no leaks in my coolant reservoir. The cap is on tight. The rubber gasket on the inside is not dried or cracking and does not leak. This is my oil dipstick and filler. If I need to add oil, I'll be adding oil to my engine right here. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, and it is not leaking. To check my oil, I'll pull the dipstick out, I'll wipe it off, I'll put it back in, pull it out, and I'll make sure I'm above operating level. If I need to add oil, I'll add it at this location. This right here is my steering shaft. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. It is properly greased. And when turned by hand, I have no more than 10 degrees of play, so I know I don't have loose steering. It is connected with couplings on each end. My couplings here and up front, they're properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts. They are properly greased in good condition. Connected to these couplings is my steering box. My steering box is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts or screws, no illegal welds. It is not leaking. All of the lines going in and out of my steering box. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. There's no leaks. All the clamps are on tight in good condition. Connected to my steering box is my pitman arm or steering linkage. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, not missing any bolts or screws. On properly, it is properly greased. It is connected here to my steering rod with a bushing that has castle nuts and cotter pins. My bushing is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It is properly greased. and my castle nut and Carter pins are properly in place, holding it in place. My steering rod, it's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. It is in good condition. It's connected here to my steering arm. My steering arm and steering rod are connected by a bushing with castle nuts and Carter pins. The bushing is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. It is properly greased, and the castle nuts or Carter pins are tight, locked in place, in good condition, holding it together. The steering arm itself, it's properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, and it is in good condition. The last piece of my steering linkage is my tie rod. It also has a castle nut, Carter pins, and a bushing. The castle nut Carter pins are properly in place, locked in, and the bushing is properly greased, in good condition. The tie rod itself is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, and it is in good condition. I'll go from my tie rod to my shock. My shock absorber is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, it is not leaking. The bushings on the top and on the bottom of my shock, they're not dried or cracking, they're not missing any nuts or bolts, they are in good condition. From my shock, I'm going to go right here to my engine frame. My engine frame is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, no extra holes, not missing any bolts or nuts. It is in good condition, not twisted or bent. Connected to my engine frame are my leaf spring mounts. I have one in the front, one in the back. They are both properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, not missing any bolts or screws, no illegal welds. They are properly secured. They are holding my leaf springs. My leaf springs are properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. They are not shifting. They're level on top of each other, and there's no scissoring. They're in good condition. In the center, my leaf springs are held by two U-bolts. Both my U-bolts are properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. They're not missing any nuts. On the bottom, there's no rust or shininess that would indicate that they're loose. They're all in good condition. Right here is my steering axle. My steering axle is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It is in good condition. I'm going to go right here to my brake hose, going into my brake chamber. My brake hose itself, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there's no leaks. The connections to my brake hose are on tight. The clamps are not leaking. They're properly sealed. They're all in good condition. Along joined to my brake hose is my ABS, or my anti-lock braking system line. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no frays, cuts, bare, or loose wires. It is in good working condition to keep me from locking up the brakes. My brake chamber. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. It is held in place by a C-clamp. My C-clamp is on properly. It's not missing any bolts or screws. It is held tight. There is no leaks in my brake chamber. Pushing into my brake chamber is my push rod. It is at a 90-degree angle to the brake chamber. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It's not missing any bolts or pins or Carter pins, locking the nuts in place. And it is connected to my slack adjuster, which is at a 90-degree angle to my brake push rod. My slack adjuster is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It is in good condition. If I was to check my brakes, I would, number one, chalk my wheels first. I would get in, put my truck in neutral. I would release my spring brakes. I would come out and I would pull by hand, and I would have no more than 1 inch of play with my push rod going in and out of my brake chamber. From my push rod and slack adjuster, I will go to my inner rim. My inner rim is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, no extra holes. It is in good condition, and there's no debris on the inside that could cause me a tire fire. Going all the way around my inner rim is my brake drum. My brake drum is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, and there's no dirt, oil, or grease that could give me a braking hazard. On the middle portion of my brake system here that are pushing up against my brake drum are my brake pad and linings. They are properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. They are not dangerously worn thin, and they have to be at least 1/4 of an inch. And again, there's no dirt, oil, or grease that could cause me a braking hazard. Holding my brake shoes or my brake pads are my brake shoes. My brake shoes are properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. They're not missing any rivets. They're in good condition. And again, no dirt, oil, or grease that can prevent me from braking. The inside tire wall here, it is properly mounted and secured, beaded all the way around my rim. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there are no audible leaks that I can hear. The top of my tire, these are my steering tires. They cannot be recapped. The thread depth has to be at least 4/32 of an inch. They are evenly worn. There's no nails or any other kind of debris that could give me tire failure. They're all in good condition. The outside tire wall, it's properly mounted and beaded all along my rim. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there are no leaks. My outer rim, it is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds, no extra holes. It is in good condition. I have 10 lug nuts. They're all properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. They're all in good condition. There's no rust or shininess back here that could indicate I have a loose lug nut. This is my hub oil seal. It is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. The cap itself is not dried or cracking, does not leak. It is filled to the proper level with oil, and I've already checked it. This is my air stem. It is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. It is not leaking. The cap is on tight. I checked my tire pressure with an air gauge. It is at 105 PSI. This is my left fender. It is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. It's properly secured. It is not dangerously close to my tire, giving me proper steering radius. On this side of my engine, all of my hoses, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. All the connections are on properly and tight, and there's no leaks. All of my electrical lines and wires, there's no frays, cuts, bare, or loose wires. They're all in good working condition. This is my washer fluid reservoir. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. It does not leak. The cap is on tight. The rubber seal on the inside is not dried or cracking. Not leaking. It is filled to the proper level. I'll step over here to my coupling system and fifth wheel. I have 3 coupling lines. I have a service brake line and an emergency brake line. They are my air lines for my brakes. There's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there's no audible leaks. They're all in good condition. They are secured here to my tractor frame by my valves right here. My air valves themselves are properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds, and they are not leaking. The lines going up into my air valves, there's no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and there's no audible leaks out of these lines. On the end of connected over here to my trailer, my air lines are connected to my glad hands. I have my service glad hand and my emergency glad hand. They're both properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. They're not missing any bolts or screws. They are in the locked position. The rubber seal on the inside is not dried or cracking, and they do not leak. The other coupling line I have is my electrical line. There's no frayed, cut, or bare loose wires. They are in both good condition. Connected here to my tractor frame is my electrical tractor box. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws. My electrical line has 7 working pins. It also has a lock cap, keeping it in place so it doesn't get pushed out. On the side over here to my trailer, My electrical box for my trailer is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any bolts or screws, no illegal welds. It also has 7 working pins, and it also has a lock cap, keeping my lines in place. I have a suspension spring that is holding my lines so they're not dragging on my tractor frame. It is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. It is in good condition. None of my lines are dragging on my tractor frame, which could damage them while I was driving. Pull them out, damage them, put holes in them. So my lines are properly suspended. Underneath, I'm going to start on my 5th wheel mechanism. I'll start with my apron. It is properly mounted and welded to my trailer frame. There's no illegal welds. There's no extra holes. There's no rust. It is in good condition. It is properly mounted to the top of my 5th wheel skid plate. My 5th wheel skid plate is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It is secured. There's no light or gap between my apron and my skid plate, indicating I got a proper coupling connection. It has also been properly greased, so I won't have a problem getting stuck when I'm making turns. Right here, I have a 5th wheel pin. These are pivot pins, one on this side, one on the other side. They are properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. They are in good condition. They're being held in place by this locking bolt and nut, which are both properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, keeping my 5th wheel pivot pins in place. Right here is my manual release arm. It opens my locking jaws when I need to disconnect my trailer. My manual release arm is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. It has a spring attached to it, which is properly mounted, secured, not bent, broken, or cracked, in good condition. It is in the engaged position, meaning my locking jaws are locked around my Kingpin. This is my slide plate. My slide plate is properly mounted and secured to my 5th wheel structure. The slide plate itself is not bent, broken, or cracked, has no illegal welds. It is in the locked position, so my trailer doesn't move as I'm pulling it. Connected from my slide plate to my 5th wheel structure. My 5th wheel structure is properly mounted and secured to my tractor frame. It's not missing any bolts or screws, and it is properly connected. There's no illegal welds. It is in good condition, secure. I'll go to the back. On the inside, in the middle of my apron, is my Kingpin. My Kingpin is properly mounted and secured and welded to my apron bed. It's not bent, broken, or cracked, and it is properly greased. Locked around my Kingpin are my locking jaws. My locking jaws are properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. They are properly greased, in good condition. Right here, I have my tongue drawbar. It is properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. It's not bent, tilted up, or any way so I can get in and out. So the Kingpin can slide in and out of my skid plate. It is in good condition. Right here, I have my back cross member. I also have a cross member in the front. They are both properly mounted and secured, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. They are in good condition.